Hi Simmers, welcome to my town. This is Joy's Creative Finger, and today we'll be looking at an island villa. I called it an island villa because I built it in the Mystery Island in my town. Let's go ahead and have a look. I built this on the Teen Idol Mansion lot because I think that would make perfect sense for a villa. We want lots of space, lots of grounds, maximum security. I have a large pool at the back with a pool house, and we'll have a look at that soon. And it's a nice large property, and as I say, it's built on this plot because I think it fits the style of the property. Also, when I thought of building a villa, I thought I'd like to do something grand in a sense with regards to the entrance. So I thought, sort of an overhead sort of gate system, some seating areas in an inner courtyard before you actually, come into the main doors. And yes, I worked on that. I actually had a lot of fun working on this front entry system, and I think it worked out good. This long walkway sort of matches the choice of patio paving that I use for the central part of the courtyard, and there's obviously a mix and match with a different sort of paving, as it were. So if we go ahead and go through these double doors, you come through to a foyer or corridor, depending on what you choose to call it. And there are two doors to the left and to the right of the entrance in the corridor in the foyer. One leads to a powder room and a private location for the WC unit in the corner there. We also have a little room that encloses the boiler for the house. We can then walk back across the foyer, across the front doors, to the other door on the right. You come through to a corridor that leads to the stairs going down to the basement. Further beyond the staircase is a corner for storage, if you may. So you can see the buggy, the board for surfing and such. So that's what we have on the left and on the right of the entrance to this villa. So I'm just going to swing around the other way so I can carry on with the tour. So yes, you see the way it works basically. So we've got the basement stair area that way, and we have the bathroom on the other end. So we walk into the large central part of the home. We have a large sitting room area. It's the heart of the home. It's quite sizable, old and new furniture, a good mixture of the two. And we have two doors leading out back to another large foyer that leads out into the pool, and we'll take a look at that later on. So yes, if I go to the left of the sitting room, we have a large library and study room. So we've got a couple of computers in the space, some reading chairs and some stools with reading lamps on them. And I use these doors from I think they came with the Saved by the Spell quest. They're like secret doors. I'm not particularly sure, but I think so. And they look like bookshelves anyway. Across the way to the right, we have this delicious dining room. I say delicious because I use the gingerbread house wallpaper. I've been trying in all of my builds to use and inject some of these items into the properties that I've been building, and they do work when you mix them up with what you already have in Sims FreePlay. The wallpaper does work quite nicely with the chandelier, and I use the rug from the gingerbread collection as well, creating a somewhat well thought out chic designer look for the space. So that's my delicious dining room. Now if we work our way further on through the dining area, we come through to the kitchen, and I had the same approach as well, mixing and matching furniture so I don't end up with the same, designs. The Latin style units in the middle match the units on the side against the wall. So I do believe there should be some kind of connection between the dining room and the kitchen in terms of access, as opposed to having the kitchen far across the other end of the house somewhere. So now I'm going to work my way back out to the large foyer behind the living room, and there are some seating areas there, casual seating areas, and there's the staircase that leads up to the living quarters for the occupants of the property. But before we go upstairs, the other side of the foyer has a door that leads to a guest room for a visitor of the family that lives here. It's very well self-contained. It's still in some way lavishly designed. We've got some beautiful lamps in there, and we have an ensuite bathroom in the corner for the room as well. So yes, an uncle, an aunt, a grandma, this is the location for them in this villa. It's also situated downstairs because I feel that if I was going to have a property like this, I would want a guest room downstairs in that location. Now out back, as mentioned earlier, we have a large C-shaped pool and a somewhat fancy pool house in the back here. We have the television also in here, so you don't need to leave this location after swimming if you wanted to still catch up with the news and what was going on in the world. So we're going to go upstairs now to the living quarters for this villa. We have 4 rooms in total in this house, 1 master, 2 bedrooms upstairs, and the guest room downstairs, which we've already had a look at. So up we go, and we'll take a look at the girls' room on the right in the corner here. I don't usually go for color themed rooms, but in this case I did. It's a villa, and I think the mum or the dad decided to really splash out and give the kids the rooms of their dreams. So here we have the closet space, we have a set back door for the ensuite bathroom, and a beautiful bed space in this angle here. Now I used the gingerbread lamp again in here, and the magic mirror. I think it came from the Saved by the Spell quest. If you just inject these items into your currently existing homes, you'd be surprised how it works so beautifully well and complements the other pieces of furniture. This room could be a double room, so in a sense a double bed could go in the middle where the single bed is and the lamp, and it could be completely renovated to look like an adult room by just changing the kiddie colors. The boys' room is exactly laid out the same way, and if you notice with the plan, there are corridors separating all the rooms. So the staircase in the middle there is in a corridor that splits the rooms apart, so they don't share a wall. It's a bit like, a detached house, semi-detached house versus a terrace. So there's a lot of privacy, even between the master room and the kids' rooms as well. As it's a villa, I think that's something that should be the case. They both came in through double doors that lead into the same room, which is excellent, so I don't have to explain that. This master room is a unique master room. One corner is an entrance for the man, the mister, and the other entrance is for the missus. They both individually have walk-in closets. This is another thing I've been trying to do in all my homes, or expensive homes as it were, creating a closet, a real walk-in closet space for my Sims. So there's a seat in there, they can take their shoes off, think about the day, and unwind in that corner. These closets then lead into their own ensuite bathrooms, so I think that's quite unique for an expensive villa. So that entrance leads into that corner and that angle of the room, and then they have their own seating area and their bedside. And the same is mirrored across the way on the right side of the bedroom. So there's an entrance, a double door entrance we saw earlier. You walk in into your own closet space or your side of the room, gaining access to your own personal facilities within the master room. Now, of course, they can move around freely in here as a couple. They share the same bed. The staircase is the same distance to both doors. But if your closet's on the left, then of course you're going to want to access the door on the left. And if it's on the right, the same goes. So it's just a perk to the design of the property. They have a balcony out front as well, which is a lovely overlooking platform. So there you have it. This is my lovely designed master bedroom. It took me a little while to put it together and come up with the ideas that you've had a listen to. Let me know what you think in the comments below about that. And these walk-in closet things, I really can't wait for when Since FreePlay would give us those clothing racks that we have in the Sunset Mall to actually place in our homes. I think it would be fabulous. Anyway, we do have one more place to visit in this property, which is the basement. So we'll work our way back downstairs to the main floor. And a little note, just remember to keep playing around with using the gingerbread house items. It'll surprise you how well it complements your homes. Now, this is the staircase that leads down to the basement, and we have a little cellar in the back with the wine barrels and a very simple laundry room. Thank you so much for watching. A thumbs up will be greatly appreciated if you do like the video, and a comment would also be useful in guiding my next choice of design or ideas of what you might like to see, and a subscription would be useful for upcoming videos. Have a lovely day.